The countdown to my 10-year high school reunion had begun, and truth be told, I wasn't initially sold on the idea of attending. It took the persuasive powers of my friends to convince me. Set for a glorious Saturday in August, this gathering was orchestrated by a group of folks from our graduating class. The venue, a fancy catering hall nestled in the more upscale part of town. Now, it had been eons since I'd crossed paths with most of these people, except for the trusty handful of friends from my high school days who had managed to stay close. The prospect of mingling with 100 faces I hadn't laid eyes on in a decade sounded less than thrilling. The truth, I had some reservations, especially considering my less than fond memories of certain high school characters. But hey, FOMO, fear of missing out, is a powerful force, and the thought of my friends reveling without me was enough to tip the scales. So, when the reunion night finally arrived, I found myself steering my car towards Kayla's house, accompanied by the dynamic duo of Marissa and Sophia. We pre-gamed at Kayla's, summoned an Uber, and fashionably sauntered into the reunion a tad late at 9 so. The party hall greeted us with a blast from the past, but with a few extra wrinkles and a sprinkle of grey hair. I hadn't anticipated the turnout, a bustling crowd of 80 to 100 people, all donned in their reunion finest. The vibe was a bit more energetic than I had envisioned. Think DJ, party lights, and an overall lively atmosphere. Not exactly the serene, intimate setting I had imagined, but hey, change is the only constant, right? Being in the company of my friends made it easier to navigate the sea of familiar, albeit older faces. As the night unfolded, we found ourselves at a table with some high school girlfriends, about 10 of us deep in nostalgia. Yet, amidst the laughter and catching up, I couldn't shake a feeling of awkwardness as my friends ventured into their own conversations. That's when I noticed him, a mysterious figure at another table, his ears locked onto mine. A quick glance turned into an unexpected rendezvous as he strolled over and introduced himself as Connor. He oozed charm and claimed he couldn't resist saying hi after spotting me from across the room. Decent looking and my table for one getting a tad lonely, I let him pull up a chair. The conversation flowed and I found myself giving him my number before he returned to his squad. With Connor's departure, I was back to flying solo, and after polishing off my food and drink, I embarked on a mission to find my dispersed friends. The night was in full swing, with some of them embracing the art of overindulgence. While I was riding the buzz, the prospect of heading home seemed like a beacon of salvation. Lo and behold, Connor texted me, offering a ride, and I eagerly accepted. Amidst the hustle and bustle, I opted for the famed Irish exit, too many faces to bid farewell to. As we strolled to his black two-door coupe, car names are not my forte, Connor handed me a water bottle, advising me to hydrate for the morning. Little did I know that this seemingly innocuous gesture would later trigger a cascade of events. Cue the barrage of calls and texts from my worried friends, Kayla, Marissa, and Sophia, desperately seeking intel on my whereabouts. Dodging their inquiries, I discovered a Facebook group post warning of a random guy posing as a reunion goer. Panic set in and my instincts screamed abort mission. At a red light, I seized the moment, flinging open the car door and sprinting into the welcoming embrace of a TGI 3 days parking lot. Connor didn't chase after me, he just kept on driving. A call to Kayla resulted in a rescue mission by way of an Uber. While waiting, the world seemed to blur in a haze of intoxication. The morning after saw us all crashing at Kayla's, and I eventually drove home. However, a knock on my door shortly after entering my apartment sent shivers down my spine. It wasn't Connor, but my neighbor, who revealed a creepy visitor lurking the previous night. Thankfully, my neighbor's savvy move of claiming I wasn't the intended resident potentially spared me from future unwanted visits. With my lease's end, I made a swift move to a different apartment in the same community, led by gratitude for my friends' timely warnings and the instinct to avoid a sequel to that surreal reunion night.